We're back on this topic because so many people feel that things like this are not important for the stage they're at in life. Like you're looking at yourself and saying, man, I don't need to budget. I'll start when I start earning that proper paper, or when I get a consistent, steady income. Or you're probably in uni and you're thinking, when I graduate, I don't have to deal with stuff like this. But whatever your excuse is, based on my past failures, I think it's never too early to start learning to do the right things, and then it will be easier for you to implement as you go on in life. Many of you are in that prime time where you can make little changes, little adjustments to the way you're doing things, and those little things can catapult you into a brighter future. Hi guys, it's Antoinette and welcome back to my channel. Now, if this is your first time here, welcome. Feel free to subscribe if you like the content that I'm putting out, and you can also share it with your friends. So getting straight into the video, first things first, I feel regardless of the stage that you're at in life, if you're having to handle finances or money, then you're going to need a proper budget. It could be digital, it could be written, as long as it's not like an imaginary budget in your head that you're saying, yeah, I've got this all stored up in my mind. It needs to be physical. It needs to be something that you can see, something that you can work with. It will give you a clearer, tangible picture of where your money's going. And for me, a budget is simply an intentional plan for money. Like if we as a family didn't have a budget, we'll probably be living way above our means, because we'll think that the cash flow that's there is actually a lot bigger than what it actually is and all of that. But because we have a budget, we can see what is actually available to us at any given time, and that kind of helps us plan and determines what happens next. Naturally speaking, in the system that we live in this world, there are basic principles that you need to adhere to make sure that you're not indirectly putting yourself in the path of trouble when it comes to money. Now, if you develop the habit of budgeting early on, it will help you stick to it, and it will help you later on in life. And I've said this before, it's never too early, it's never too late to start doing something good and beneficial for yourself. And I'm talking on past experience. Even if you're not working or you're not getting a consistent income, your income is just here, there and everywhere, or like I said before, you're at uni or you're in debt, as long as you have to handle money, and in the case of being a student in uni, student loan, that's money, you're handling money. A budget is still for you. I think it's important because if you adhere to a strict budget, then it will help you limit unnecessary spending, which can so easily lead you into debt. Now, budgeting also helps you live below your means. I've said this before, that we have a rule in my family that if we can't afford it, then we're not getting it. We've come up with this rule because we think it's so vital, and a budget helps you see what's available, so you're not trying to compete with other people or live like the Joneses. We're not here to be like, okay, we're going to do this because XYZ are doing it. No, if you have your budget and you know that your finances aren't saying what you want to do, then you're not going to do it. And if you're also in debt, then I feel that it is vital for you to get your budgeting game up, because it not only helps you get out of debt a lot quicker, but it helps you stay out of debt and probably help you move on to saving and investing if that's in your plan for the future. So change your mindset, because I used to think like that before. I used to think, okay, when I'm earning a certain amount of money, that's when I'm going to start taking budgeting and all of that serious. But having that mindset was not beneficial for me at all. And I look back and I think there's so much I could have done earlier on, but there's no point in regretting the past. You learn from your mistakes, you move on, and you make changes where you can. You break that cycle, and then you become more accountable with what you're doing with your money and where your money is going to. So now that you know why you need a budget, here are some of the very basic tips that I think will help you get on with budgeting. Now, I've mentioned this before, but you have to have your budget written. It needs to be something that you can work with, something you can see, something that's tangible. And then you need to list all of your income, regardless of where it's coming from. You can have 2 jobs, wherever you're getting money. If you're a student, your student loan will be seen as your income. If you've got a part-time job, list it as your income. Once you've listed all of that, then you begin to extract all of your expenses from that total income. So all the money that's going out for like necessities, your food, bill, rent or mortgage, and then you move on to stuff like your leisure, pleasure, entertainment spending. And you'll find, or a lot of people find particularly, that when it comes down to stuff like that extra spending for entertainment and stuff, that's where they need to make major cuts, because they're probably spending more than they ought to, or for what their finances are saying, they're blowing it in that area. So you need to be brutally honest, go through it bit by bit, include everything so that you know that this is a proper budget that I'm working with. And then keep your eyes on it, keep your eyes on the flow. You need to track everything down to the last pound, literally. And if you're starting off, I would advise that you're tracking every day. Yes, you really need to keep your eyes on the ball. And there are a number of apps out there now that can help you with this. There's also stuff like accounts like Monzo, if you're suited to that or if it works with you. And I've been through quite a few apps myself, but I want to make note that I personally refrain from using apps that connect directly to my bank account. I don't know, I just feel a bit funny about third-party apps having access to my account, if you know what I mean. So I use apps where I have to input the details myself. I have heard good testimonials about the tools that connect directly to your bank account, and I can see how they're more effective, especially if you're not disciplined enough to keep on track. But for me, it's something that I personally wouldn't use because I'm just not comfortable with it. But if you're cool with stuff like that, then why not? Go ahead. Anything that can help you better yourself. And some of the apps that I've used or I'm using, stuff like, I think My Budget, Receipt Box, Spending Tracker, Fast Budget, I'll list all of them below. And for me, even though I've got apps on my phone, I think my apps are more for when I'm just out and about, that kind of thing. I still refer back to the good old Excel spreadsheet. It's always my go-to. It works so well for me. I do need to mention at this point that although I touched on Monzo, both Monzo and Revolt are two major digital banks that I think are perfect for budgeting. They have brilliant functionalities like auto saving features, split bill, budgeting tools, all of which can help you a lot if you're struggling. So just make sure that you're using something to help you track your spending. And if you're in a relationship, you really need to be on the same page with your partner in regards to finances and money. This is so crucial. You need to have a joint purpose for the income that you have, a joint understanding of where your money is going to. You know what they say, that finances and money is like one of the biggest reasons for separation and divorce today. So if you're planning on settling with someone, I think finding out their spending habits or their financial goals, all of that is a priority. It's really important that you dig deep and find these things out, because if they don't care for things like planning, budgeting, saving, investing and the likes, and you do, and you're meant to be doing life together, well, that ship could very easily be shipwrecked. And let the more disciplined, like the stronger of the two of you, be the person that's in charge of the finances. Like if you know that you have a problem with spending, then you really want to relinquish any monetary accounting to that other person. And you can also have them as an accountability partner to helping you get better at how you handle money. Another point is to plan ahead for stuff like expensive months. For us in our family, the month of May is an extremely expensive month because there's so many birthdays. Stuff like Christmas, out of school, back to school, all of those kind of things. Look at how your year is set up and plan for the unexpected as well. Now, I quickly want to give my take on credit cards because I have been asked about this in the past. Now, for us, we don't use credit cards to get into debt or use it for money that we don't have. We have that money in our bank account. We use it for the benefits. So we pay it off every month with the money from our account. So yeah, it's strictly for stuff like the points, the upgrades in flights, hotels, credit score, you know, all of them kind of stuff. So when you see me flying business or going in and out of airport lounges, you know why. It's because of the credit cards and the benefits that come with it. But I would never advise you to get a credit card if you are not disciplined. You need to work on being disciplined first before you start thinking about, yeah, let me get credit card out so that I can enjoy the benefits. No, because what you're going to do is end up spending money that you don't have. So if you're not self-disciplined, forget it. If you've got tendencies of splurging when you get in the shop, don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. There's no point in putting yourself in temptation's way, because that's just foolishness. And you need to stay wise, people. You need to stay wise. So yeah, credit card is not for everyone. I really need to stress that. If you know how to work it for your benefit without having to spend extra money, then do it. But if you know that you're not disciplined enough for that ish, don't go down that route, because you will end up in trouble. And don't compare yourself to other people. Not everyone is on the same journey as you. In fact, everybody is on different journeys. Don't do things for other people. Do things for your future self. Your future self will thank you for the decisions that you're making now, the decisions that you're implementing in your life now. Because you know what? These things go beyond us. They go and they affect generations to come. Peek how deep that is. It's very humbling. It's a really humbling thought for me to think that what I'm doing now has an effect on my children and their children, and even people outside of that scope. So don't end up regretting what could have been just because you want to, I don't know, XYZ. Just remember that you're living your own life. You're not out here to be pleasing other people. And finally, and most importantly for me, if you're in debt, just turn to God to help you. He can personalize how you need to get out of debt and how you can stay debt free. I mean, for us, He gave us wisdom and increased our income to help us pay off student debt very quickly and move on to doing other things. So He can do the same thing for you. So guys, I'm going to leave it there for now. I hope you found this video useful. Do let me know, leave your comments below, because this helps me tailor the content that I'm putting out to actually putting out what you guys want and need. So yeah, comment below, give it a thumbs up, all of that good stuff. Remember to share it, and remember that it is one step at a time to becoming confident. So for you, your first step might be opening up an Excel spreadsheet, downloading a budgeting app that's going to help you get going to bettering yourself and inevitably bettering other people's lives as well. So start off small, don't overwhelm yourself, but make sure that you start. All right, guys, until my next video, bye for now.